The theme throughout the Gospel of Mark is Jesus' message about the kingdom of God. But the kingdom Jesus is preaching is not the kind of kingdom the Jews were expecting God to establish for them. I'm Reverend Connie Seifert. I'm the pastor at Corning First United Methodist Church, Corning, New York. And I'd like to share a brief reflection on Mark 13. It's often called the Little Apocalypse. It's often skipped altogether because it's difficult to understand. It's not easy to preach on without providing a vast amount of historical context. And it's extremely difficult to make it relevant to life in the 21st century. But I'm going to give it a try. Jesus has been teaching, preaching, and healing in the temple courtyard, and lots of people have been watching and listening and wondering who this guy was and what is he talking about. The healings, of course, everybody was impressed with those. But his preaching and teaching, oh my goodness, it just made people think, and sometimes it just didn't make sense. As this passage begins, Jesus and the disciples are done for the day. They're exhausted. They're heading home to Galilee for a good night's sleep. So we start with the beginning, chapter Mark 13, verse 1. As Jesus came out of the temple, one of his disciples said to him, "Look, teacher, what large stones and what large buildings." And then Jesus asked him, "Do you see these great buildings? Not one stone will be left here upon another. All will be thrown down." Well, Peter, James, John, and Andrew, they wanted to know more, and they wanted to know when it was going to happen and what Jesus thought they should be doing and maybe what they could do to prevent it. So let's listen to Jesus' response. "Beware that no one leads you astray. Many will come in my name and say, 'I am he,' and they will lead many astray. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. This must take place, but the end is still to come. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places. There will be famines. This is but the beginning of the birth pangs." And so we've had lots of earthquakes. And then we have Palestine versus Israel, people starving in Gaza. We have Ukraine versus Russia, with Russia showing no sign of backing down. In Syria, Sudan, and Myanmar, there's ongoing civil wars. And then there is that tension running between Iran, the US, and Israel. Plenty of potential for escalation in that scene. And then simmering unrest and outbreaks of violence in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, in Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, South China Sea, Korean Peninsula, India, Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia. In Haiti and Colombia, gang warfare. And those are just some of the wars and rumors of wars making the headlines these days. Then we have in Gaza, Sudan, Mali, South Sudan, and Haiti, 1.9 million people dying of starvation. Some because of famines, other because available food cannot reach them. So what in the world did Jesus mean by saying, "This is but the beginning of birth pangs"? Who's in childbirth? Who's in labor? And who or what is being born? The theme throughout the Gospel of Mark is Jesus' message about the kingdom of God. But the kingdom Jesus is preaching is not the kind of kingdom the Jews were expecting God to establish for them. A kingdom where they would have power instead of the Romans. That is not a vision of the future that the disciples want to hear. But that is the vision we are going to end with today, and you'll have to come back next week to find out more.